Forget everything you think you know about knights. The biggest lie in history is that they lived with glory. They didn't. They lived with pressure, fear, and constant uncertainty. Every day was a test where one mistake could cost everything. And what you're about to experience now is not the legend people admire. It's the reality most would never survive. Imagine waking up on a freezing stone floor. Your body aches, your throat is dry, and your stomach is empty. Before you even move, you hear metal clanking in the darkness. Someone is already preparing. You don't know for what yet, and that uncertainty makes everything worse. Because here, danger doesn't wait for you to be ready. Here's something few people know. Many knights didn't die in battle. They died before it even began. Training accidents, disease, exhaustion. If you survived childhood, you might live into your 40s. But many never did. And as you slowly stand up, trying to ignore the pain, one thought becomes clear. Today might be your real test. You step outside into a fog-covered courtyard. Cold air hits your face as silence surrounds everything. For a brief moment, it feels calm, almost peaceful. But that feeling fades quickly. Because in this world, calm is never permanent. It's only the pause before something breaks. And when it does, there's no time to prepare. In this world, you don't get second chances. You either adapt fast, or you don't survive. So before we go deeper, make a decision. If you want to understand how people survived here, stay with this story. Because every detail matters, and missing one could mean the difference between standing strong or falling too soon. If you were really here, standing in this courtyard, waiting for orders, where would you be from? Comment your city and country, because today, people from all over the world are stepping into the same battlefield. And trust this, where you come from won't matter here. What matters is what you do next. Your armor is placed in front of you, heavy, cold, and intimidating. At first glance, it looks powerful, almost invincible. But that illusion fades quickly as you begin putting it on. Each piece adds weight, each strap tightens your body, and suddenly you understand something most people ignore. Protection comes with a cost. Your breathing changes as the chest plate tightens. Your movement slows slightly, and your shoulders strain under pressure. Now comes your first decision. Too tight, and breathing becomes difficult. Too loose, and you expose yourself to danger. This is where many would already fail, before even facing a real enemy. Here's something unexpected. Knights didn't always wear full armor. It was exhausting and restrictive, so sometimes they fought partially protected. And that's where mistakes happened. One exposed area could end everything. So now you're not just preparing, you're calculating survival with every decision you make. Breakfast finally comes. Hard bread, cheese, and watered-down wine. Simple, quick, and far from satisfying. Large feasts were rare and reserved for special moments. Most days looked like this. Minimal food and maximum effort. And as you eat, you realize something important. This won't be enough for what's coming next. Training begins immediately. No warm-up, no preparation, just impact. A wooden sword hits your shield harder than expected, then again and again. Something feels wrong. They're not holding back. This isn't practice, it's pressure. They're testing your limits to see if you break. Knights trained under figures like William Marshall endured brutal routines. But here's a hidden truth. Many died during training. Injuries, exhaustion, accidents. This wasn't preparation. It was selection. Only those who survived this stage ever reached real battle. You're pushed into close combat. No space, no time, no control. Your opponent moves fast, and one strong hit throws you off balance. For a brief second, everything slows, and you realize something terrifying. You're about to fall, and this is where most people would fail. Once you fall, getting up becomes difficult. The armor weighs you down, and the environment works against you. In real combat, no one waits. One mistake becomes your last, and suddenly you understand something deeper. Survival isn't about strength. It's about staying in control when everything starts collapsing. You're pulled aside for strategy. No rest, just decisions. A battlefield scenario is presented. Mud under your feet, archers ahead, limited visibility. A simple question is asked. Do you charge or hold position? It seems easy, but history proves otherwise. At the Battle of Agincourt, knights charged with confidence, but the mud slowed them. Arrows came fast, and many became trapped. Strength didn't save them. The wrong decision destroyed them. And now you understand how quickly everything can end. You're suddenly placed into a tournament setting. Crowds cheering, energy rising, eyes watching every movement. It feels like recognition, like glory. But that illusion doesn't last long. Because even here, danger is real, and mistakes are punished instantly. Tournaments were not safe. Knights could be injured, captured, or killed. Some were held for ransom. Others lost everything in seconds. Figures like Geoffroy de Charny believed honor defined a knight. But honor doesn't protect your body when things go wrong. Then a horn sounds, different, urgent. The crowd goes silent. Your commander freezes. For a brief moment, no one moves. And that silence feels heavier than anything before, because something is wrong, and everyone feels it. This isn't part of the event, it's real. An attack begins instantly. Chaos replaces structure. You hear screams, metal crashing, horses panicking. You turn quickly, and the enemy is already close. Too close. There's no time to think, only to react. Here's something disturbing. Many knights didn't die from wounds. They died suffocating inside their armor, trapped under bodies, unable to breathe. And now, that possibility feels real. You see someone on the ground reaching for help. You recognize them. And now comes the hardest decision. Do you stop and help? Or keep fighting and survive? Because you can't do both. And whatever decision you make will stay with you. The battle ends as suddenly as it began. Silence replaces chaos, but it doesn't feel peaceful. It feels heavy. You remove your helmet slowly. For the first time all day, you take a full breath. And then it hits you. You survived, but something changed. The way you think, the way you see everything, it's not the same anymore. Now answer honestly. After everything you've seen and felt, would you last a single day? Or would this break you before the end? Comment your answer, and your city and country. And if this changed how you see history, share this with someone who still believes knights lived in glory. Because the truth is always heavier than the armor.